Britt, Grace, hey, congratulations on your new film, Insane Like Me.
Thank you so much. And thank you so much for having us.
Hey, not a problem, not a problem. I mean, you know what? This is all the guilty pleasure fun movies that we love to watch on a Friday, Saturday night. So I guess I'll throw the first question to Britt. Where the original idea came from for Insane Like Me? What inspired you?
I self-financed this film, so I wanted to make something around the budget, but I wanted to do horror and just kind of the movies that I liked and loved. And so I mixed horror with a little bit of action and then a lot of cars. And that's the formula for this film.
Action, horror, cars.
Right.
There you go. So Grace, tell us about why you wanted to be a part of this project and the journey here.
Well, I love horror movies. That's been my main experience is just lots of horror films. I think I've died in I don't even know, maybe 50 films. So yeah, so anything with horror, I'm there. I've never done a vampire movie. I've done a zombie movie, but so that kind of drew me to it as well. And then, of course, when I found out Eric Roberts was involved, I've worked with him once before on Just What the Doctor Ordered, a Lifetime film. So I was super excited to find out that he was involved as well.
Britt, tell us how you wanted to craft the story for Insane Like Me, besides, the action, the horror, and making sure that cars are involved.
Well, I crafted Jake around, some of the true things about myself. I was in the army for 7 years, so that's where that came from. I lost my brother in 2007 in Iraq. So the girlfriend coming up missing and the grief of that, I thought were interesting aspects to maybe revisit and see what comes along with that. And then everything else is just from movies that I've really loved, because movies have been the consistent thing in my life. So just a film nerd.
I mean, speaking of film nerds, I mean, the difference between this vampire film and other vampire films is you're not using the same vampire rules
Right.
per se. Tell us about the decision of going in a different route. Is this something that you just want to differentiate to make something entirely different from what's actually out there?
Yeah, I just wanted to differentiate and see what you could do to make it different, make it interesting, so it's not just another, indie vampire movie. I just wanted to do something original and see what I could get away with. So
Now, Grace, like you said, this is not your first rodeo when it comes to horror. How do you approach every horror project and try to make it fresh for yourself?
Oh, I feel like because each character is different, just because it's in the realm of horror, there's something special about each role. So for Samantha, I was looking at her warmth and her likability and what she's carrying. So I think that's what makes it fresh for me is finding those specific things that differentiate each character. And, it's a whole new world to explore, even though it's still in the world of horror. So that kind of keeps it fresh for me. And yeah.
So why do you enjoy playing dead people?
Honestly, I think I just really have a good scream and can cry on cue. So I think that's how I've gotten into the horror. But I don't know. My mom thinks I'm meant to be a rom-com queen. So I've only done one rom-com and she's like, yeah, forget the horror. You're meant to do rom-com. I'm like, but I love horror, mom. You don't understand. But I think I'm just good at dying, honestly. So
she's got a good one-tear.
It'll get a one-tear cry. Yeah.
I want to say, there are a lot of good actors that make dying as their specialty, like Danny Trejo.
Yes.
I think he died probably over 50 or 100 times. But then again, you know what? Eric Roberts has done what, over 200 movies, and I want to say
it's like 1,000, I think. Yeah.
He probably died in half of them for all I know.
Oh yeah.
Now, speaking of romanticism, of course, you two are appearing together here on the Zoom call, and you both play Jake and Samantha, who are linked together romantically in this film. Tell us about the romantic link and how you two as actors develop the chemistry.
So we met on this film. So we did not know each other beforehand. And then we just got married in December. So yeah. So I think it was kind of like we just, clicked on set, and it was easy to have that chemistry because we liked each other.
Yeah.
And then we started dating after the film. And then,
Yeah.
like, so you get to see us kind of like fall in love, I guess, during the movie, which it is kind of a love story to its core because he's,
Yeah.
trying to find what happened to Samantha. And that's like the whole motive of what's like driving him crazy. So yeah, now I get to drive him crazy every day.
So literally, you both the term "insane like me" is actually true in real life.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes.
So so that's actually kind of funny in its own way. But Britt, now you said that this is a self-funded project. Tell us how all of this actually got together for yourself, including the cast and the set, putting the pieces all together.
Yeah, so I think having a good funding base was the start. I had a script before all that, and the script was a lot more in depth. But due to like self-financing, you have to cut a lot of things, and you're just like, it really hurts as a writer to cut that stuff because it's sequences I really wanted to do. I just scrapped them and saved them for another film. But I think that was a hard part for me. And then casting, I mean, everybody that I cast was like leagues above everybody that also auditioned for that part. So I
Everybody
think,
pretty simple.
yeah, it was really simple to cast a lot of these parts. So
And this makeshift hotel, did you commandeer someone's hotel, or did you have to
yeah, there's this
create
great
a set to make it look like a hotel in its own way?
there's this great lady in Glen Rose, and she said basically, as long as I have insurance, she doesn't mind me using it to film. And it's this hotel that was built in the early 1900s, and we just kind of commandeered it and shot what we needed in it. So
So the really the most expensive part of this film was getting the cars, right?
no, I already had the cars. They're actually my cars. So yeah.
You wanted to use your own cars
Yeah, I used my own
so
cars in this film. So yeah.
Well, one is his brother's car too.
Yeah.
They fixed it up on My Dream Car on Fox.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, my brother was killed in 2007 in Iraq, and he left me his Camaro. And they finished it right before we started filming, so I went in and punched it in and made it the hero car for the film. And yeah, so I just squeezed one more in there. I thought, why not?
Why not?
you did well. Now we mentioned before Eric Roberts make a tremendous cameo role in this film. Tell us about getting him for the part on this film. I know he really says no to people's projects, especially if they have a passion for it.
Right. I talked to his wife Eliza, and she's honestly one of the sweetest people I've ever dealt with in this industry. And they were just so like awesome about everything. They weren't. There was not a lot of pushback. There was just like,
They're
oh,
ready to.
yeah, you're really interested in doing this project. I want to hear about the project. I tell them, they can tell how excited I am as a filmmaker to make this project, how dedicated I am to it, and I think that helped ease uh, them doing it. So
Yeah, he's so great to work with.
he is.
Well, wow, that is pretty awesome. I know it's always been a pleasure to speak to Eric on so many projects itself too. So now I always ask a lot of horror filmmakers when it comes to this to the horror genre itself, but I have to ask as particularly especially for you, Britt, since you're the filmmaker here, the debate between practical and CGI effects in horror, which side do you actually land on? Because I actually noticed you use both here in this film.
Right. I prefer to use practical. I like Christopher Nolan's a filmmaker I look up to, and he uses like mostly practical effects in his movies. with blood though, and like, using a lot of these places, it tends to get a little messy. So we tried not to do too much of that and fix where we could. So we just
I was gonna say I think Grace has a lot of experience on
Yeah,
practical
I
blood.
worked with
Is
a
it
lot of fake blood.
truly that messy, Grace?
Oh yeah, no, I've worked with so many different types of fake blood. I feel like I was telling them I had one movie where I was like spitting up fake blood and it was like a chocolate syrup mix. And I can never eat chocolate syrup ever again. It was like chocolate syrup and like red dye or something. And it was like, it was so disgusting. But it seems like each
yeah.
formula for the blood is like slightly different, I guess, depending where you're using it. But
Interesting on this one, we had a cold front come in, so the blood was freezing to people, the practical blood. So
Hmm.
the outside scenes, it's like frozen in their face. Like
yes,
it's
it's like a
not
nightmare to get off.
Yeah. So
I was gonna say those night shoots look kind of very challenging and difficult itself.
they were. So
Yeah.
it influenced me to put a jacket on my character for that scene. So
Most excellent. So what's up next for the both of you at this point?
we're producing a military drama in the fall. It's about my brother and all the guys that were out there on that battlefield that day. And I don't know, we have a really good script and
Gearing up for it. Yeah.
gearing
So
up for
that's the
that.
next producing project that we're up to.
So
Wow, that is pretty awesome. Is the car going to make an appearance too? Hopefully.
it is.
I'm
So
sure. I'm sure there'll be
it
lots of
will.
cars.
So, well, just that one, but yeah.
And let me wrap it up with one last question. Why do you both of you love independent filmmaking itself?
I feel like
I was just gonna say freedom
freedom. Yeah.
to kind of like be more artistic and express yourself.
Yeah, and there's nothing like the family, like you become like a family on each independent film because everybody's there because they love it. They're not there for a big paycheck or, anything like that. They're there because they genuinely love what they do. And I think that's the difference is everyone's just putting everything they have into it for over 12 hours a day. And you're just hyping each other up and really trying to make the best project that you can.
And I could definitely tell you two love this industry and you two love making films. So, Britt, Grace, thank you very much for talking to us about Insane Like Me, and can't wait to talk to you again on the next project. Maybe a possible sequel down the road. Who knows?
Who knows? Definitely a possibility.
Thank you so much for having us.
Thank you.
Thank you.